Hey everyone, it is Kneecap here, in this video we have some exciting things coming out. Today is beginning of BlizzCon, and as always they dropped some new World of Warcraft stuff. And as we always hope for, especially at this point in a current expansion, they actually released what the new expansion is going to be. That's the big news, so we'll get into that. We'll get into what the new expansion is, the trailer, my takeaways from it. Just to warn everyone, this video is going to be very positive. There'll be time to be negative, I'm sure, maybe right leading up into the time between the two expansions. But right now, we're in a current expansion with no content and just waiting for the next raid to come out. And I'm not going to sit here and shit on the next expansion when obviously all we've seen is like the cool parts of it. There'll be plenty of time for that. That's not what this video is about. We're going to be very positive about the announcements coming out today. So the new expansions like the Battle for Azeroth, and basically what we're having is a continuation of the storyline that was currently happening in this expansion with the whole Sylvanas betraying the Alliance, when in reality, if you see their point of view, it wasn't really betrayal. She was just saving her own people who were going to get slaughtered. And it was like a hard situation, but everyone doesn't know the whole story, and even if they did, you still let their king die if you're the Alliance. So, that's kind of the heated tension is between Greymane and, of course, Anduin, who is his father who died, and then Sylvanas, who's like the leader of the Horde. So you have this huge tension. So the trailer kicks off. Let's talk about the trailer first. The trailer kicks off with an undercity that's under siege, a Lord-Round that's under siege by the Alliance attacking it. Sylvanas gets really ticked off, really pissed off, and she charges out at the Alliance and starts slaughtering them. She rallies her troops, and they start taking over. Anduin starts fighting. You see Anduin in his full regalia, King of Stormwind regalia, and he's fighting, and he's obviously not that great of a warrior. He's kind of trying to be like his dad, like a warrior, and he's battling, and you just see everyone, the Horde, starting to overtake them now. He gets blessed by the light, which is interesting. I don't know if we should look too far into it. There's two ways to look at it. Either he basically realized how strong his priesthood power was, or he was blessed by the light as like a one-time occurrence. I don't like that second part, simply because if he was, then what's that saying? They are technically fighting in undead cities. Maybe the light would want to banish them. But what's that saying? It's kind of not fair to the Horde. The Horde also have people that are priests and paladins, so it doesn't really make sense, and to me at least, even though that might be the case. I like to kind of think that Anduin kind of realized what his true power was, is he's not a warrior. He's like this ultimate priest. And he basically mass reses or mass heals the entire Alliance army, and then they go right back at it. Obviously not giving a clear winner. I think it's to be expected that the Alliance is probably going to win that battle for there, based upon some other things that we see coming out, unless the Undercity remains kind of just its own little thing, whereas it looks like most of the Eastern Kingdom is going to be taken over by the Alliance. And then obviously Commodore is already pretty much fully Horde owned anyways, but that'll be even more taken over. So that's how the trailer opens up, and so that's kind of what this expansion is about. The Alliance versus Horde. It's a lot like Cataclysm. A lot of people have been waiting for this again, as well as Alliance versus Horde. A lot of people say that about Mrs. Pandaria, although that had its own separate kind of thing as well. It was supposed to do with the Shah, and not many people got into that, so they focused more on the Alliance versus Horde part of that, which was obviously a huge part of it. But this is more of like the Cata feel. Now, a lot of people don't remember Cata or don't like Cata, but in Cata we had all these outdoor world PvP things that not everyone did really. I kind of enjoyed them personally. They weren't highly done, I guess you say, but I personally enjoyed them, and we're going to get more into that as well, I believe. So you're going to have more world PvP type centered stuff, where you're going to have resources that you have to hold and points that you hold, and if you hold, and we had that in BC, and we had that in vanilla as well, just on a lower level. But Cata, I think, really kind of brought that back. They kind of stepped away from it, and now they're kind of coming back to it, in my opinion, just from what we've seen so far. So to kind of get into some more, so we know Undercity is under attack. Here's the other big thing that happened. The Night Elf City has been burnt down, so it's on Teldrassil, the giant tree, and the Horde burn it down. So what does that mean? Where are the elves going? We don't know that for sure. We can assume that they're coming somewhere to the Eastern Kingdoms, maybe for safety. If that's the case, are they coming to Duskwood? They have the Nightwell thing there. Not the Nightwell, but you know what I mean. They have the big Dream Grove thing in the center there. Are they coming there? Where will the Night Elves be locating themselves at? That's interesting. And so let's get into there's these new races now, basically. So it's the same races, so we're not going to have a new race. They didn't announce the hero class, I don't believe. Maybe that's still coming, who knows. I could do without that. Demon Hunters I didn't really like, although Death Knights were cool, so they were 1 for 2, I guess. The new races. So for the Horde, and I'm sure this is verified somewhere, but I'm just spitballing after finding the information myself. We'll have plenty of time to get more specific into this. The Horde, it looks like, have, if you pick Blood Elf, you can be a Suramar Elf instead. It looks like if you pick Tauren, you can be a High Mountain Tauren instead. And then if you pick Troll, you can be a Zandalar Troll instead, which is mostly the same, but slight differences. For Alliance, it looks like if you pick Draenei, you can be an Argus Draenei instead, which are more gray skin instead of blue. You can be a Dark Iron Dwarf if you pick Dwarf, which is really cool. That's probably what I'm going to do. And then you can be, I don't know what the other one is, to be honest. It looks like a vampire. I'm assuming maybe it's a Suramar Elf. I don't know what else it could be besides an elf, because it's not a Draenei. It can't be a dwarf or a gnome, so, it's not a worgen. So, unless it's some sort of void thing with the whole void thing going on, we're experiencing doing all the stuff with the void and the expansion currently. Unless it's something to do with that, because it's obviously not an ethereal, but maybe there'll be something that comes out with that. They're like this vampire-looking race or something that joins the Alliance. Who knows? Although if it is like a vampire race, that's pretty cool, but I don't know what it'll segment off of. It almost has to be the elves, just based on the way it looks. Like, it's not going to be a dwarf. It's like you pick a gnome or you pick a vampire. I don't think they'll do that. But that's really cool. I like that a lot. Some people won't. Some people will like the new stuff completely. But you have to remember, we're also getting remodels on the goblins and on the worgen. It looks like, I'm assuming that you're probably gonna be able to have like a white worgen now, change the fur color and everything like that, and look kind of more interesting in that way. I'm hoping so, and I'm pretty sure that'll be the case. So that looks really cool as well. Other than that, you have these sieges that are going to be a big part of this game. I say big part, but I want to temper everybody. I don't think this is going to be something that you have to do. Like, you'll have to do a couple of them just in the storyline to kind of get you acquainted to them, but it'll be like your mission board. You do your stuff on your mission board you have to do, but if you really, really hate your mission board, you don't have to do it. There's probably much better examples of this, but I don't play a ton of different games. I don't have a ton of other time to play other than what I play on WoW and stuff, so I don't play a ton of other games, but I do like the Shadows of Mordor, and I got the Shadows of War game. So if you have played Shadows of War, you'll know that you can attack other people's castles with your troops and gain rewards. And you don't have to do this by any means. You can completely skip over this in the game, and it has no bad effect really on your playing experience. This is what I believe, and it's like, I view it, even though you're controlling your character, so it's not exactly the same, but I kind of view it as like a mini game of like Clash of Clans inside the game. And that's what I believe these sieges will be. I believe somebody compared it to Skyrim. I've never played Skyrim. Maybe that's a better comparison. I don't know. But you'll have these, you'll be able to attack other people's nodes, I'm assuming, or whatever you want to call them, little fortresses. And you're going to have your own troops that you send to do so. And I don't know if you'll be able to control them yourself, or if it'll be Clash of Clans style, where you drop them down and they go attack, and you have to come up with strategies. Boom Beach is another game. Maybe it's similar to that. I'll like it either way. I'll like it if as long as it's a side thing. I'll like it if it's a Clash of Clans style, or if it's a style where you control the things yourself. Either way, I like that kind of stuff. Again, I'm going to be positive about this. I'll be positive about this almost no matter what, unless they just completely fail at it. Because I do like that aspect of it. I like having a side thing to do in the game that you don't have to do. I don't like when they force you to do stuff. I didn't like garrisons because of how much I felt like players were forced to be in their garrison all the time and to always do their garrison stuff. You had to do the mission boards no matter what, like tons of them. Then you had to do all your ship mission boards when the new Tannin Jungle came out. I didn't like the forcing of that. And while we still have the mission board and you still have to do stuff on the mission board, it doesn't feel as forced because I feel like they kind of gave us a little bit of slack in Legion. And even though I enjoy the mission board, that's how I make gold in many cases. And I like the mission board personally because I can do it from the phone app. But not everybody does, and I completely understand that. So don't make it something that you have to do. Just make it something that you can do. And I think that'll be really cool. let's see if there's anything else that I kind of missed. Excuse me here while I read through this. I want to make sure I got to everything. What we still kind of think it's going to be the old gods that are going to be the end of it. It kind of always is when it's Alliance versus Horde. There's always kind of like the old gods that are kind of behind everything. Oh, big thing. I don't know how I missed this. So we have Kultiris and we have Zandalar Island or continent, whatever. So Kultiris is the region that's been ruled by the Proudmoore family. South Shore, for example, is like kind of owned by them. You know, Jaina is always there. Well, Kultiris is like the actual continent, and this is something that's in the lore and everything that we've never been to. It's going to be probably close to Tolbarad, I would imagine, without looking at a map of it. And Kultiris is run by Jaina. Jaina's father's dead, so this is run by Jaina's mother, actually. And Jaina will be back in this expansion. I'm assuming she'll be really pro-alliance and not kind of a mediary character. And then there's also going to be the Zandalar Island, which is a continent of itself. And what we're going to do is, and this is going to be interesting because you're going to go to these. You're going to be going to these islands based upon your faction. So I don't know if Alliance will ever go to Zandalar Island, except for like through one of these sieges. And likewise, I don't know if the Horde will ever go to Kultiris. I'm not sure. Maybe they will. Maybe there'll be some sort of dungeon that you do that, or like I said, one of these siege things. But so there's going to be completely separate content for the characters. Now, the first thing that pops up in my head, are we going to be going there to level up? Is that how we're leveling up on this island? And if so, are we not going to have any world PvP leveling up? That can be a good thing. Some people will really hate that. But I happen to have joined a server that's fully Alliance anyway, so it won't affect me either way. So I'm not biased in this in any way. It's not going to affect me at all. If it's PvP, the 10,000 of us Alliance will kill the 5 Horde, and we'll go on with our day. So for the Horde's sake on my server, I hope it's not like that. Just for the Alliance sake on other servers, I kind of hope it is kind of separate. So we'll see if that's the way or not. I want to read what this. I stumbled upon this. It says about the sub races. Let's see if they mention what that vampire thing is. Players are reaching out to. Let's show how the allied races come to join. Okay, so there's quest content that show you how those races join that I mentioned earlier in the video. Once you do that, you unlock the ability to play the race. There's new racial abilities, varied customization. Allied races begin at level 20. If you have an allied race from 20 to 110, you can unlock a set of heritage armor specific to that subclass. 6 allied races at launch. Horde get Nightborn, High Mountain Tauren, and Zandalar Troll, so I had all those right. Void Elves, I was right. I guessed it, but it's Void Elves, Lightforged Draenei, and Dark Iron Dwarves. Wow, I can't believe I guessed that right. So it's a Void Elf. So it's literally what Illyria is. So Illyria is kind of going to be the leader of those, I bet. She's going to take some of the elves and turn them into Void Elves, or maybe, maybe that'll be a faction of the Night Elves. I mean, obviously it has to be. Another thing is there's island expeditions. I don't know what this is yet. It's going to be some sort of exploration type. It's kind of be like a scenario, I guess. Three-player co-op. I guess is what this is. You race against advanced AI opponents. That's kind of cool. You can also choose to do against enemy players as well. So that's just another thing completely. So you have the sieges. You'll probably still have a mission board in some way. And now you have these island expeditions as well. That's kind of cool. Other than that, let me make sure I didn't miss anything too big. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about was they haven't said anything with the legendary system as far as I can tell so far. So I don't know if they're just scrapping that, which is probably a good idea to be honest. But as far as the artifact goes, basically it's instead of a weapon this time, which a lot of people hated, a lot of us have come to kind of like it when they started giving us all these cool appearances for it. But instead of that, now we're going to have a necklace. So now you can't complain about the appearances at all. So now you're just never going to have to change your necklace, apparently. You're going to be given this from Magni, I guess. Magni Bronzebeard, who's like a part of Azeroth. And you're going to be given this medallion, and you're going to power that up as you go. It's going to unlock cool abilities for your armor and stuff like that. Similar to your artifact, it's going to be similar to that. So your artifact weapon. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. There's some other little stuff as well, and maybe I'll make a video about all that little stuff. But this video has already gone on longer than I expected it to, because I'm just trying to like run through everything really fast. Like I said, I'm very positive about it. I would have been positive about it probably no matter what, because I was getting pretty bored with the game. But I mean, we'll see. And like I said, there'll be a time to be negative, but that time is now, in my opinion. So we'll be more critical leading up to the expansion and this coming summer and whatnot. Other than that, everyone have a good one.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thumbs up and sub as always. Also comment below, share the videos. Appreciate it so much. You can also check me out at Twitter at WoW Gaming Inc. and at Twitch with the tag name Kneecap Killa. So everyone have a good one and see you again soon.